Hey folks, this is Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. Today we're going to be talking about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Debunked. Notice my notes are all crinkled up. I did this video the first time, which I thought I did it the first time. Then I threw my notes away and I noticed that, no, I wasn't recording. So that's why they're all crinkled up. Thought that was funny. Okay. So anyway. What would it take for Bigfoot to exist? Let's think of it. Let's try to think of it from a scientific standpoint. Any species that we have on this earth has a male, also has a female. We also know that ain't all they have. We know this ain't Adam and Eve, just a man and woman. You know, we know that have to be some genetic diversity. So we know let's say there's at least 25 of them within 100 miles of each other. Probably even more than that, but we'll just for sake of argument. If there was that many, we would find bones eventually. Somebody would find a dead skeleton. Somebody would find something. I mean, we found dinosaur bones. Likewise, if this really was a species unto itself, then it would have existed since as long as we'd existed. So we would have found bones somewhere else. We would have found bones, and we'd have thought they were human bones, but we'd have noticed they was different, and then somebody would have put two and two together and realize it's something different. Okay. Likewise, well, some people say, oh, but you don't understand, Billy. Bigfoot's a very secretive creature. He buries his own dead, hides his own poop. Again, there's another instance. If it poops, we'd found poop somewhere. It's like, man, that's a little weird. That ain't quite human. That ain't quite anything we'd have found. I mean, you know, they claim to found footprints, but anyway. So my point is this: oh, it's an elusive creature. Well, I was like, well, guess what? Guess what else is an elusive creature? A cougar, a leopard. I mean, we found all those creatures. Do you realize how many hunters there are in this world? I'm just curious if you realize how many hours are spent sitting in the woods, sitting in a tree stand, waiting for a deer to come by. Do you know how many hunters would have seen a Bigfoot? Do you know how many hunters would have killed a Bigfoot? Do you know how famous a person would be if they killed a Bigfoot and brought it into society? Oh, if there was a Bigfoot, somebody'd have one. They'd have it mounted on their wall, and they'd be on CNN bragging about it. So let's cut the BS about, you know, that it's an elusive creature. Give me a break. What Bigfoot really does, Bigfoot really reveals the human mind. It reveals the fantasy land that we love to be in. It doesn't really tell you much at all about reality. It tells you everything about the mind and how we love fantasies. If you don't believe we love fantasy land, go look at your movie theater. Go look at how much money is spent on movies. They spend tons of money on movies because we love fantasy land. We want to escape reality. We don't want to be in reality. And I'm trying to bring you back, and you're going to fight me tooth and nail. I want to believe in Bigfoot. Billy, you're taking away fantasy. You like the excitement of it. Just like you like the excitement of a movie. You want to be thrilled. You want to be, a little bit of fear when you go in the woods about something that don't exist. It's like watching a Friday the 13th movie, you know? Okay, so let me make sure I've covered this. Again, my crinkle nut, that thing's hilarious. Okay. Okay. Let's assume that people really are seeing something out there. It's not just a figment of imagination, which it probably is just a figment. What it could be is a man getting tired of society and says, you know what, I want to go back to the woods and I want to live like a wild creature. And as he starts living like a wild creature, hairs start growing on him that, you know, just from being exposed to elements makes it grow, you know, gives it an incentive to grow. Plus, I've seen plenty of people in society that, you know what, they look like they might be a little bit Bigfoot, as much hair as they have on their backs and stuff. So, it's possible, you know, imagine a man that never cut his hair, he lives in the woods, he just don't care about society. Well, guess what, that actually has happened to a few people. Desperate Journeys and Abandoned Souls. This book's about people being shipwrecked and stuff. Well, this guy got shipwrecked for, I think it was 3 to 7 years total, but after 3 years, another guy got shipwrecked. I know, ain't that a bitch? Shipwrecked in the same spot. So it's just the two of them on the island. Well, they had a first meeting, and then they both were scared crapless of each other. And the guy that been there for a while, or the guy that just arrived, he thought the other guy was like some kind of wild creature because hairs and just he had bristly hairs all over him, and he just looked like a creature. He didn't look like a human, you know. And they finally realized they both were human, shipwrecked, blah blah blah. My point is though, if a man left society and stayed out there long enough, he would look different. He wouldn't look as clean cut as we do, and there may be things that would happen you wouldn't expect to happen. So if it is anything, that's what it is. And that would give you, and if that guy ever met anybody, he would stop and say, hey, look, man, I'm just a human just like you. I left society. And it would be gone. The Bigfoot thing would stop. So, no, it's, okay. Again, it's fantasy land. Loch Ness Monster. It's basically the same deal. Do you know how big a Loch Ness Monster would be, you know, based on their claim? It's huge. It's very, very big. Somebody would see it every single day of life. They'd have a helicopter doing the traffic. Oh, look at over, there's a Loch Ness Monster. No, it's Fantasyland. I seen a video on it or show on it, and it was obviously a bunch of ducks and arranged in such a way that it could, you know, be misconstrued as a creature. But it was obvious. I mean, it's the mind creating. Have you ever looked at a cloud? Your mind, you like look at a cloud and you make a picture out of it. That's your mind creating things. That's not actually there. There's not actually a human in a cloud. There's not a dog or a puppy dog or whatever. Just like on the moon, we all know the man in the moon because our mind wants to create. It doesn't want to see what's actually there. It's just dust, reflective dust, reflecting light off the sun. That's all it is. There's no man there. A fantasy land. Yes, I'm destroying fantasy land. I'm not allowing you to live in a delusional world where you think some creatures are running around that we don't know about. Oh, there's a few. I know there's probably some little bitty creatures. Any creature in the United States we already know about it that's pretty big, it's any adequate size. We may occasionally find some little small creature we never knew about, but you show me a lot of things I think is a brand new creation that somebody else has already found. So, and just because society don't know about this little creature doesn't mean somebody that lives right next to it didn't know about it their whole life. So they just might not have been well educated on everything that there is to know, which is very hard to do. Anyway, as always, upper right hand corner is the links to my blogs, and basically you need to come to terms with what I'm telling you. It's obviously fantasy land. Good luck accepting it. Like I said, I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to tell you the truth. Good luck, folks.